Okay, so the way this works is kind of weird. Snapchat AI was programmed before Elden Ring was released. The bot had no idea that Elden Ring had been out for over a year. When I originally asked what weapon I should use for the run, the AI gave me suggestions from Dark Souls, Berserk, even Genshin Impact. But one time, the bot told me to get the Frostbite Spear. Even though this is from a different game, the Ice Spear Ashawar is a thing in Elden Ring. The next thing to figure out was which spear I should put this Ashawar on. I couldn't just ask the AI, he had no idea what spears were in Elden Ring, but I could list them all out and have him choose one. He eventually landed on the Partisan. I had him name a class from Dark Souls, on which he landed on the Mage, and then I proceeded to choose the Astrologer class because it's the closest in similarity. I listed all the keepsake options and he chose the Lands Between rune. I asked the AI if I should be in lightweight, medium weight, or heavyweight for the whole run, and luckily he said lightweight. Being lightweight is way better than heavyweight, but I won't be able to wear much armor, so you'll see my fashion change quite a bit in this video. When I collected my flasks, I was about to ask if I could use them when I realized the AI would obviously say yes. This bot is like weirdly nice, and he would let me use any item that would help me. So instead of just asking if I could use the Estus flask, I asked him to randomly say yes or no. I use this a lot in the run to make the video truly challenging. The Snapchat AI bot said I could use the HP flask but not the FP flask. Honestly, that's not the worst outcome, right? I used the Lands Between rune and got permission to wear the chainmail armor. I got my horse, but then realized that I had to ask. So yeah, no horse. I then went to level up and realized I should ask for that too. So I decided to ask for each separate level point. Here were the results, not including the level requirements for the Partisan. At this point, I wanted to quit the dedication to this video, but I refused. I had to get the Partisan. I thought I would just use the staff and spell that came with the Astrologer class. I wouldn't use this once I got the Partisan, but since the AI told me to choose this class, it made sense. It's not easy using sorceries when you can't regenerate your FP. Not to mention the Godrick Knight has a great shield, so I had to cast the spell after he attacked me to hit him. I didn't have enough FP to miss more than a few times, and this guy loved to dodge. It took a lot of tries. Okay, so I have my weapon and rooms from the night to get the requirements. The next step is to upgrade it, right? The thing is that my cosplay videos are fun and all, but they're pretty easy. I'm going from using 2 fully upgraded Stormhawk axes to a non-upgraded Partisan with the least amount of health possible. The Astrologer class has less health than the damn Caveman class. I had to keep pushing. I had already spent 2 hours farming for the Partisan. I headed off to Lurania of the Lakes to get the Ice Spear Ashawar, and without Torrent, that took a while. The Knight's Cavalry. This was a feeling of pain I did not expect. Every attack this guy had would either one-shot or two-shot me. Earlier, I got permission to use the Spirit Calling Bill, but I didn't get permission to use any nearby summons, so I decided to just not summon. A peer fight between the Snapchat AI build and an overpowered boss. I won't lie, the damage the Partisan dealt was pretty high, but I still wanted to find an alternative. I asked the AI bot to choose between a staff, seal, shield, or nothing, and he chose a staff. I proceeded to list every single sorcery and have him pick a number between 1 and 12, in which he chose 3. I then had him pick 3 of the sorceries I listed and he chose these ones here. So I killed the pumpkin duo, bought one from Saloon, and tested it out. Okay, back to the Partisan. With permission from the AI, I used the Dragon Crest Shield Tailspin, which let me survive a few attacks that would usually one-shot me. I got really close sometimes, but all it took was one little screw up and I was dead. Lots of times this guy would bump into me or come launching out of nowhere. Eventually, after many attempts, I killed him. Margit's up, and this boss was by far the easiest in the entire run. The AI unfortunately denied my request to summon Rajier, but that was fine by me. I definitely wish I had FP flasks to use Ice Spear, but I can still proc Frost without the Ash Ward. Margit took insane damage, and I killed him on my first try. Upon reaching the gates of the castle, I asked the AI if I should take Route A or Route B, A being the main gate and B being the side path. Luckily, he chose the quicker option, being the main gate. I was nervous that everything would kill me instantly, but I entered God mode and got through the whole thing hitless on my first try. For the first time, the AI decided to be nice and let me summon Neofeli. Godrick was still a challenging fight because of the lack of health I had, but still pretty easy to get through with the help of summon. I did die a few times, but not nearly as much as I did with the Knight's Cavalry. Sometimes the summon can change the direction of the boss or the fight itself. I mean, what was even going on here? Although Neofeli did make it much easier, there were parts of her that made it more challenging. His reach on his attacks was confusing, and my other magic took too much FP for it to be worth it. Eventually though, Frost would proc and Neofeli would start to deal more damage because of all of it. The boss went down in around 5 attempts. I asked the AI to pick a name, either Renala or Radon. He chose Renala, which is bad because this guy makes me choose a magic build and then fight a magic resistant boss. Let's just say I attempted to get through the academy. I thought I'd hold off on that and get to Altus Plateau. Just like choosing between the gate or the side path at Stormveil, I asked the AI to choose option A or B, A being the lift and B being the secret tunnel. Unfortunately, he chose option B. After running a marathon, I reached the tunnel, which was easy, I didn't die once. But Makar, not so easy. The AI told me to summon Trogoth, but this was actually bad. You might be aware that summoning someone doubles the HP that a boss has to make the fight still challenging, but this made my weapon deal almost nothing, even with the Axe Talisman. I was pretty much wielding a toothpick at this point. I tested the fight without my summon, and it was way easier, so honestly summoning this guy was a mistake. My Ashen Ward dealt lots of damage, but it didn't matter for long, as I would run out of FP very quickly. To make things a little easier, I progressed Blythe's questline and Aegis to get the Carrion Filigreed Crest Talisman. Whew, that's a long name. This let me use Ice Spear a few more times before running out of FP, as it makes Ashes of War require less FP intake. As soon as I ran out, I would switch to the Axe Talisman to deal more charge attacks. My main goal was to break Makar's stance as much as I could, and I did. If only I dealt actual damage. The thing about Makar is most of his attacks are easy to dodge, but every once in a while I would mess up a roll and it was game over. This one attack was the worst of all of them with a crazy hitbox that I did not understand.
Man, I'm gonna break my monitor, I swear!
I needed to be a little more powerful, so did Terragile, or whatever his name was. I remember that the AI gave me permission to use the Spirit Calling Bell. Don't worry, I didn't want to use any powerful summon either, but with permission, I could get the Stormhawk Ash. I didn't want the Ash for its damage, but rather for the free strength buff that the summon gave me in Terragaia. If I summoned the bird as my other summon walked into the arena, then both of us would get more strength. This was annoying though, because Terra George took so long to walk into the arena that I could hear the Jaws theme song playing in my head as Makar charged towards me. And the bird, he didn't last long. But on one random run, I got extremely lucky. The bird intercepted the space-time continuum itself and got stuck in the fog gate. The power of this multiversal summon meant Makar couldn't damage him, and Terraganon and I would keep our strength buff for the whole fight. Until the bird escaped. Why? But I kept trying and trying for hours. I cannot really explain how we managed. Yes I can. I hid like a coward once I got the boss to a third of its health, and let Terra Guy finish the job. Oh, and he failed miserably. But we did in the end. It's all good. After saying goodbye to Bird and Terragoth, I finally headed to the Altus Plateau. Not only did I get a new area unlocked, but some insane drip. First thing I did was get the rats. This is the last summon I'll ever use in this video. They are so weak, but so funny. And the good news is that they don't cost anything to summon. And the Snapchat AI was totally fine with it. I also decided not to upgrade them because I didn't want them to be too powerful. Next step, getting up this ramp. Without Torrent, this proved to be difficult. I decided to go for a stealth approach. Crap, just run! Let's just take a moment to rest. As I progressed through Altus Plateau, I gathered more and more golden seeds, but it didn't really matter when everything one-shot me. Torrent really is a lifesaver, because just getting to the Draconic Tree Sentinel required me to run through a war zone. Eventually I got there, and I immediately deployed the rats. Oh, well, that didn't really work out. I tried really hard on this boss fight, and yes, every single attack killed me in one hit, except one or two. I had hoped for this fight because even though I didn't do much damage at all, I at least did proc Frost. But Frost is a worse version of Bleed. It doesn't proc as often and it deals less damage. The most annoying thing about this boss was the fire attack. Don't get me wrong, it's super easy to dodge, but it is such a time waster. He does this like every 30 seconds for another 20 seconds. Look at this sped up clip. Sometimes he just wouldn't stop spamming the fire. He really thought that maybe if he just kept doing it, he would eventually hit me. I got to a second phase where he immediately started to spam his Zeus energy and blasted a lightning bolt out of the sky. I was able to dodge this many times, but sometimes I felt that I just got unlucky and couldn't afford to get hit once. I killed the tree avatar, first try by the way, to get the physic teardrop that gives you one free hit. This, well, pretty much gave me a free mistake. However, I got so good at the fight that it just disappeared. To prevent this, I drank the teardrop when the boss activated his lightning phase. It made me feel much safer with some of his attacks that would typically one-shot me at random. To make myself even stronger, I decided on using the FP Flask instead of the HP Flask, which were pretty worthless. I know the AI said not to, but I could just ask again, right? This made the fight very easy. Every time the Tree Sentinel charged at me, I would dodge, then hit him, and then depending on the next attack, I would either dodge and hit him again or run back and use Ice Spear. Not only did the Ice Spear proc more Frost, but it dealt more damage and even staggered him multiple times in the fight. It was still a challenge because of his second phase stuff, but I was able to finally take out the Sentinel. And myself. What a fitting way to end this boss fight. Wait, never mind. I had completely forgotten about Rennala. Getting through the academy was easy, nothing here could one-shot me that wasn't a boss. The Red Wolf was pretty easy too. Definitely one of the harder fights I've had with this boss specifically. My summons didn't really get to even attack the boss before dying, but at least they were in a good distraction and let me get a few free hits in the boss. I do think that despite this boss having a very small moveset, I have to be thankful that not only did most attacks not one-shot me, but that the boss had very little health. With multiple tries, I was able to take down the Red Wolf. Okay, quick break. Awkward moment, but I accidentally forgot to record the fight with Rennala. I had footage of me beating her first phase and then immediately dying. It was an impossible fight with Rennala having 80% magic defense. What I ended up doing was asking the AI if I should play with a friend, and then proceeded to summon Green Knight. Go subscribe to him. And he basically killed her for me. Just imagine me hiding in a corner while a super powerful knight takes on Rennala. Okay, cool. Godfrey's up next, and usually this guy's like the easiest boss of my videos. I purposely go reckless in this fight because nothing deals that much damage to me and I deal a crap ton of damage to the boss. But that wouldn't be the case for this video. I got rid of all my FP flasks. I wanted a pure fight between Godfrey and me. Especially since I could survive some attacks, meaning using my HP flasks would actually help me. Even with sped up footage, this fight still gets boring to watch. I'll spare as many details as I can. I dodged the easy attacks, finally found a way how to jump his ground slam, staggered him so many times, ran away when I was scared. On my final attempt, I didn't even end up using the tier. Godfrey down, probably one of my best feats in this game.
Graceless, tarnished. What is thy business with these thrones?
The true boss of this video, Snapchat AI once again made an appearance. I asked the bot to pick a number between 1 and 10, in which he said 7. This meant I had 7 flasks for FP, 3 for health. That might not sound ideal because 7 FP flasks is way more than enough, but I didn't really need my HP flasks because everything killed me in one shot. The other teardrop from the tree avatar would replenish any minor damage I took for some time as well. The Snapchat AI boss is pretty weak to Frost. This guy doesn't deal much damage, but his attacks are super delayed to the point where dodging becomes pure instinct. But I had a rhythm. Deploying the rats wouldn't do much, but it would buy me enough time to proc Frost and stagger Morgott. This damage combined would make him use his aerial sword attack, which was a huge window of time for me to use Ice Spear. After that, I would have to be patient and memorize the attacks where I could safely use Ice Spear again. I could be slightly reckless with the teardrop though. It wouldn't take long for him to get Frost procced once again, and after that I only had to hit him a few more times before phase 2. The only thing that changes is that Morgott is slightly more aggressive and has 2 more attacks. This is honestly good for me because both attacks are easy to dodge and give me more time to attack. It didn't take long for another Frost proc and another stagger. And then it is literally the same thing all over again. Dodge a bunch of attacks, proc Frost, stagger, and boom, look at that, he's nearly dead. But then, just as I thought victory was guaranteed, the Snapchat AI pulled out one last move. Well, that was pretty anticlimactic. I'm ending this video here, surprisingly. I'll do part 2 if enough people want me to, but you'll have to comment on it. We are at 913 subscribers, so close to 1,000. So if you liked what you just saw, subscribe. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.